Hey, it's Ash, the vegan neuropsychologist, and today's video is about my 1-week social media detox. Now, if you like hearing about stuff related to personal development and mental health, and I also talk about parenting and veganism, then make sure you hit the subscribe button below. So I am currently in the middle of the detox. It is day 3. It's Monday the 14th of November. And on Friday night, a few days ago, I deleted all of my social media apps from my phone. I went cold turkey. I hate that expression, but that's what it is. I went cold turkey. I have not been on social media, not been active, not logged in, not checked anything on social media since then. There might be one of two questions that will come to your mind. The first is, what's the big deal? Who cares? But the second one is, why would you do something like this? So I'm going to address that here. To be perfectly honest, there's not a big deal. I know plenty of people who don't use social media at all, or plenty of people who can go for days, weeks, months at a time without using social media. I've had friends who have been very active on social media, then they've just completely logged off, disconnected from it for years perhaps, come back on, and there's no problem for them. I'm a little bit different because I find it very easy to get addicted to things, and especially with social media because it's just right there, it's just on our phone, and I often have my phone with me or my phone is very handy. And if I'm waiting in line somewhere, if I'm on a tram or a train and I'm just at a loose end, if I'm eating a meal and I feel like doing something else, it's really easy just to pull out the phone and start scrolling through my Facebook or Instagram feed. And a few minutes can very easily turn into a lot longer. And I wanted to see just what the effect would be on my productivity, but also my stress levels, my mental well-being, and maybe more. To be honest, I'm not quite sure what to expect, and it's only been day 3. I have noticed some changes, which I'll explain in a moment, but it really is experimentation. Simply out of curiosity, would I notice any changes after a week without social media? And if you have seen my recent video on experimentation, you'll see that experimentation can be a good thing, and sometimes we have to remove something from our lives in order to see the effect that it's really having. I'm not having a complete internet detox. I'm still able to access blogs. I still use the Kindle app on my phone to read books, and I listen to podcasts on my phone as well. And all of these things have come in really, really handy because when we remove something from our lives, we need to have something with which to fill the space. Otherwise, it's very easy for the old habits just to slide right back in. For me, the big 3 were Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I would often just cycle between the 3, and it was really easy for me to lose half an hour, an hour, or even longer just browsing social media, which might not seem like a lot, but that time really adds up over the course of the day, over the course of the week. Here's what I've noticed in the last 3 days. First of all, it's like the habit is ingrained in my fingers. My fingers also almost get twitchy or itchy just to check my phone, and sometimes I find myself just opening my phone and I have nowhere to go. So that's the first thing I've noticed. And the second thing, which I find really interesting, is that I no longer have other things on my mind, and I realize that when we're on social media, we can often fill up our brain with other problems or other people's problems or things that are going on in the world. Right now, everyone's talking about the US presidential election, which at this stage doesn't have a tremendous bearing on my life here in Australia. But when I log into Facebook or Instagram or even YouTube, there's a lot of talk about it. So by me spending time on those sites looking at that information, it's actually occupying space in my mind, which I could be devoting to other things. So as a result, what I've noticed is there's less on my mind. I'm less preoccupied with things. It's almost given me room to think. And I feel like it's slowed my thoughts down a lot. And that's hugely beneficial for me because, like many of us, I'm prone to being anxious. I have in the past been diagnosed as having an anxiety disorder, or 2 anxiety disorders. So for this one act, removing social media, to have this effect on my thinking, it's really quite striking and very profound for me. And it's useful because I do feel like I'm less preoccupied, I have more clarity with which to think, I feel like I'm coming up with ideas for things. It's like I've emerged from the haze a little bit. Now, before I end this, I just want to say there is nothing inherently wrong with social media. I'm one of these people that I very easily get hooked on things. And so it's useful for me to take a step back and see whether those things really are adding benefit to my life. So it's only day 3. I don't know what the next few days will bring, but I'm hoping that the third day, like they often say that the third day can be the real hurdle. So I'm hoping that it will get better from here, and maybe I'll have more to report at the end of this whole thing. So anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I realized the huge irony, you're watching this on YouTube. So the fact that you're watching this actually means that my 7-day detox is over, because I've obviously accessed YouTube to be able to upload this video. But if you're curious to learn more, or if you're thinking about undertaking a social media detox yourself, let me know. And if you've got any experiences with this, I'd love to hear about them. Maybe in the future I'll do a longer social media detox. We'll see how this one goes. Alright, so I'm going to leave it there. Thanks again for watching, and make sure you check the description box below for my video about experimentation and why it's a good thing, and I will see you in the next video.